Hey everybody, it's Global Politics with Jim Martin. Today I want to talk about a recent court decision in France which banned Marine Le Pen from running for president in France for a period of 5 years, which excludes her from the upcoming contest in France here in a couple of years. Who is Marine Le Pen? Marine Le Pen is the daughter of Jean-Marie Le Pen, who started a political party in the 70s called the National Front. The National Front was an extreme right-wing fringe party that had a lot of xenophobic, anti-Semitic, neo-Nazi, pro-monarchy kinds of ideas and folks around it. The National Front was vocal, but very small, and did not garner really any vote share of any measure for some decades. But it kind of hung around in there and was always part of the conversation. Marine took over the party from her dad in 2012 and has pushed to moderate its public face and has really been able to grow the party in a substantial way. It's now the largest single party in France, though it falls far short of having majority. One of the things that Marine Le Pen has done, is to change the name of the party to the National Rally, because the National Front had connotations aligned with the philosophies of her father that were not particularly marketable. She has really remade the face and the image of the party. It is still a far-right party. It is still xenophobic. It now suggests that it is the voice of conservative Christian values in France. In a way, they have a sort of connection to Christian nationalism, philosophically speaking. Marine has run for president in 2012, 2017, and 2022. Each time, obviously, she has lost, but has done progressively better each time, and currently was polling in a pretty favorable place to be at least successful in the first round in the next presidential election. However, this recent court decision, which comes with house arrest for a period of 2 years, maybe more, and this ban from participating in politics, is pretty substantial hit to her personally. Now, what's likely to happen, and this is really something that is a characteristic of far right and far left parties, is when their leader or leaders suffer some hits publicly, others immediately begin to scheme to take over their spot. You see this in far left and far right parties, really globally. In some ways, they're their own worst enemies because they're full of very competitive, favorably speaking, folks that think that they can do a better job. At this point, there really isn't anybody who has been allowed to be public enough for us to be able to tell if they will take over or not, but I would imagine somebody will, and then she'll be squeezed out. There are always voices in extremist parties that suggest that somebody who moderates or suggests moderation is not a true believer in the cause. They're not ideologically pure enough to be the leader of the party. I would suspect that's going to be her fate. Marine Le Pen, she's always had a tinge of controversy around her. For instance, she negotiated a substantial loan with Vladimir Putin and Russia for the party during the span of the last decade or so. She accepted that loan, and that has been paid off, but the National Rally remains a committed supporter of Russia, including the war in Ukraine, anti-NATO, anti-EU, anti-immigration. That's their general philosophy, and that's Marine Le Pen's philosophy, though in public she puts a better face on it to some extent. Her current troubles have arisen because While serving in an EU parliamentary role, she was using EU funds to pay for political staff who had nothing to do with the operation of EU parliamentary proceedings for the National Rally. They were working domestically in France purely, and that is illegal. So she was charged with and found guilty of embezzlement. Now, what is the reaction to this in France? I've talked to some of my friends in France who come from different perspectives, for sure, and all of them were supportive of this decision. I know that that is not necessarily the modal view in France. There are others who feel differently. It is interesting to note that J.D. Vance and Donald Trump have taken up her cause, suggesting that this court decision is a witch hunt and anti-democratic and anti-free speech and all of these things. And Marine Le Pen's free speech has not been impaired. She can say whatever she likes. In fact, had a rally just the other day. Only maybe a few hundred people attended that, so not looking so hot. This is one of those circumstances where the understanding the French legal system, which I do a little bit, suggests that it is unlikely that these charges will be reduced or that she will win on appeal. Probably spells the end of her political career as a major forward-facing public political figure. Meanwhile, all of the opposing parties, regardless of how much they disagree with each other, are having a little bit of a party because the National Rally and Marine Le Pen were a serious threat to win the presidency and perhaps to gain their vote share in the National Assembly. Hope that's interesting to you. I look forward to your comments. If you've got some more context on this, please share it. That way we can all learn together. I look forward to talking to you again very soon. Thanks. Bye.